Okay, my today's presentation will be all about training, all about you and your company, colleagues, employees becoming experts in Zabbix. So I hope most of you know that currently Zabbix has two training programs. One we call Zabbix Certified Specialist, another is Zabbix Certified Professional. So each of these programs kind of gives you a knowledge of Zabbix sufficient to run Zabbix at the level that you are working with. However, we have or had several challenges. One is, as Alexei was presenting earlier this morning, Zabbix grows in functionality. With every release, we have more and more stuff that Zabbix can do. And of course, if we want our users to know all the features of the Zabbix and all the nuances of using Zabbix, we need time to educate. We also see that audience for Zabbix becoming broader. Maybe, I'm not sure, like 8-10 years ago, it would be one person within the company that would configure something, use Zabbix, use the results of this configuration, and would be happy. Right now, we see many organizations that there are going to be a Zabbix main administrator, an architect. There could be several or tens of administrators, and there could be hundreds of users, the one that use the results of this configuration, that work with data every day. And of course, we try to improve all the time. In terms of providing you as much information about Zabbix and all the features that we have. And another challenge was that historically, Zabbix training was built about software design. So this is how Zabbix works. Let's follow the steps. While in real life, we need to follow users. So some users need a lot of information, detailed information on API, on low-level discovery. Other users, all they want is to know how to use a dashboard. That's it. So together with the release of Zabbix 4.0, we introduce also a new training program. So it's going to be extended actually with two training courses. One is aimed at the very beginners. This will be called Zabbix Certified User, while the right one will be called Zabbix Certified Expert. And we'll be targeting those people who really strive for better performance, for high availability, for integration of Zabbix with other solutions. So if we look in more details, we say Zabbix user is not the one who is only using dashboards. Our aim is still to educate these people about capabilities of Zabbix. So they might not know how to configure or collect the data or set up any rules, but they must know what they can expect from Zabbix. It could be business-like people. It could be colleagues from different departments in IT, in operations, but they just need to know, okay, if I go to our Zabbix admin and ask this, is it something that Zabbix is capable of? A specialist course will also be redesigned. Some topics will be moved out to the user course. Some will be moved to a professional course. So here we'll actually aim at the administrators, people who manage rather simple Zabbix installations. But they're the guys that must do everything. They must set up Zabbix, must configure, must support Zabbix, deal with some maybe easy performance questions. If we're looking at this one, we're talking about the same guys, but maybe moving to the company where the system is already distributed, more users, more questions, some integrations with other solutions, while this is aimed at the people that mostly deal with, let's say, designing Zabbix solution within their companies. They're not maybe performing daily base configurations, but they're kind of given general guidelines on how Zabbix should work. Of course, we expect that expert would go through all these courses and not to skip. If we're talking about duration, the first course is going to be just 1 day. The second and the third stays the same, while an expert course is going to be a full 3 days training. About pre-requirements for attending the course. Actually, for the user, there are none. So anybody, it could be, as I said, colleague from your business department, from operational team, anybody. They just come, we'll present them the main features of Zabbix, what Zabbix does, what you can expect from Zabbix, and how to use the results of Zabbix information collected by Zabbix. So for the specialist, for the professional, requirement stays the same in order to attend the course. For the last training course, expert, the requirement says that you must not only complete the course, but actually give a positive exam. So the fact that you were here and you heard everything, but you were not able to pass the exam will not let you go on this course. So this course is really for people that are already experts in Zabbix. They already have sufficient experience. We'll just share as much as possible about details and the nuances of Zabbix. As you might know, and I noticed that not everybody know, that actually, if we're talking about exams, not courses, that some of the exams you may attend without actually attending the course. So if you are, and basically everybody here is a smart guys, then you don't need really to go for a user course. If you feel confident enough, you just may go for exams straight away. The same goes here. For the professional, requirement is only that you passed the specialist exam. In a case of the expert, there is no possibility to go straight away for an exam. So you must attend the training course, full 3 days. And if we're talking about the format of the exam for the expert, if here we have questions, answers, that this is kind of a exam in the way of the practical work and an interview with our trainers. So you just cannot click, 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 and maybe be lucky enough to pass the exam. You really will need to complete some very difficult tasks. We'll have to answer the questions why you have applied this specific technique and not anything else. And if we are not talking about new training model and new training courses, then we are talking about prices. So this information will be actually available starting from the next week. The new things are mostly here, the training course for the user. The price for the specialist and for the professional becomes a bit higher as well. And there is a new course and a new price for the expert. Please take a look. Actually, a bundle is introduced. So right now, if you decide to attend 2 courses in a row, so basically you buy a full week of training, there is a special price, discounted price for this purchase. And just for those coming overseas, there is a price line also in US dollars. And as I was mentioning, if you feel confident enough or you don't have time, or you just want to take a risk, you may go straight away to Zabbix exam and get your certifications without attending the course. So it's all possible. Here, as I was already mentioning, it's not possible to attend the exam without attending the course. So there is no option of buying expert exam. These are prices in US dollars. And yeah, since we're changing a lot of things, we decided also to change the design of certificates. That took us most of the time, designing. So this is the certificate of attendance. As most of you know, when you attend Zabbix course, regardless of the fact did you pass or did not pass the exam, you will get a certificate. So everybody who attend any Zabbix course would get this certificate, proving that you were listening to the course. And of course, if you did pass the exam, that you will see, or you will have one of these certificates on your hands. This one is not something that probably students would get, but it's more like an advertisement. So if you feel knowledgeable about Zabbix, if you're fanatic about Zabbix, you may also consider to become Zabbix trainer. It's maybe not an easy task, and there are plenty of Zabbix trainers in this room, both coming from partners and from Zabbix team. You may talk to them, but why not? Why not to try? And if you ask me when Zabbix 4.0 training will start, actually on Monday. So all the students that will be visiting these trainings, they will already be going through Zabbix 4.0 training program. And you may search for the location closest to you or go on our webpage a bit further. And if we're talking about just maybe some facts or some. So Zabbix during 2018 was delivered in 10 different languages. So it's not only English. So it's Portuguese, Spanish, German, French, Italian, Japanese, Russian. OK, I won't count everything. We delivered training in 2018 in 24 countries. And current Zabbix certified trainer team accounts of 30 people. So that's actually all of my presentation. Thank you a lot. And if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer those.
Do we have any questions?
1, 2, 1, 2. Thank you, Sergey, for the presentation. Yeah, we do have a few questions regarding the certificates. So the first one is, which certificate will have those who will successfully pass the exam tomorrow? For example, we already have a Zabbix Certified Professional 3.0 certificate.
Mm-hmm. OK, thank you for this question. Probably I should put additional slide in my presentation on this topic. But tomorrow's exams are already based on Zabbix 4.0 questions. So we are lucky enough that Zabbix was released before Summit. So right now, those who will attend tomorrow's examination, I wish you good luck, and I hope that everybody will pass, and those people will get certificates of 4.0.
Right, thank you. And the another one is, what about distant or remote courses and exams in a 4.0?
OK, we decided that within our presentation, we'll not talk about future. It's always easier to say, OK, this is done, this is available tomorrow. Yes, we are working on different kind of trainings. As you all know, right now, trainings are being delivered only in presence. So there should be in one room a trainer and students. However, we do understand that some countries are very, very big. And sometimes it's just hard to travel to a training location. So we work, and hopefully we'll introduce in the upcoming months extension to our training courses. So as the first step, we'll make a remote training, which means that the students will participate in a training from their office or from their home, just using an online video session where a trainer will be visible and the students will be visible as well. And here goes the assistance as well.
Right, thank you. And the other question is, what would be the market demand for the highest certificate holders?
I hope that person has an answer. No, in reality, of course, when we were designing this expert training, it's not because we had spare time and just had fun. No, we see the demand coming for this kind of the training. People are asking very complex questions. And actually, we could not feed these answers or like material on this training in the standard courses. So I would expect that already in this year, we'll have a few tens of the students who will be the bravest one. And let's see how it's going to develop next year.
Right, thank you. I think we can carry on with the
Yes, please.
live questions.
Okay. So any more questions from the audience? Okay, I see a hand raised, so I will ask microphone to be delivered. Okay. Yeah, over there in the middle.
Hey, Sergey. What about I remember that in the version 3.0, we have a update program from previous certificate. What about in the new program? We used to have the update program?
Okay, in reality, in 3.0, there was no official update training course from Zabbix. Again, didn't want to talk about that, but yes, it's coming. So besides these 4 training programs, there will be, at this moment, I think 2 training programs. So because there is nothing to upgrade to the expert, so it's going to be upgrade from 3.0 to 4.0. It's coming.
Thank you. Any more questions?
Hello. I have 2 questions. Okay. What is the duration of the certificate? Is it 2 years or 3 years? And should I recertify it after I pass the exam?
Yeah. I hope my answer is quite easy. The certificate for the particular version does not expire. So if you hold the certificate for 3.0, then as long as 3.0 exists, you are still certified for 3.0. And the same would go for 4.0. So the certificate itself for the particular version doesn't have expiry date.
Okay, thanks. And second question, maybe it is not very correct, but
Go ahead.
I am very interested in it. Can you share the results, success rate results of the exam attempts? Thanks.
I need a help from my colleagues. What is the current?
Approximately 65–70% pass.
70, 65, yeah.
Sergey, sorry, one more question. During the training session, the guys asked me about how I can verify my certificate online.
Okay, you're just making me confess all the time. Okay, currently after release of this program, our next main, let's say, target is to introduce a new examination program. Currently, we're already using, not program, platform. Currently, we're using Moodle. We consider other options. And one of the requirements for the new system that actually is going to be available in online mode to verify certificate. So it's going to be 2 most likely parameters, the number of certificate and maybe the first name. And then you'll see the result of your kind of query that says it's yes or no. So not to disclose any personal information.
Okay. So if there are no more questions, then there is a small announcement from my side before we let Sergey go. If you have any particular interest, questions, or maybe some concerns or feedback about the partnership programs, so Sergey and Eva, please stand up, are those people who rule the partnership programs within Zabbix, so please address your questions to them. And now, thank you, Sergey, very much.
Okay, thank you.